the second time your candidate, well, not your candidate, but this is the second occasion upon which your party has been accused of instigating people to violence. The first time was the comment of Malam El-Rufai, which he clarified. I don't know if that was satisfactory to the masses, I mean, to the people. But then, you know, now your candidate is quoted to have told the people what Mr. Schreiber is saying and what the PDP presidential candidate is saying as well. You know, how do you respond to that?
Okay, I'm actually a farmer and a herder, and I know that there are certain factors that are necessary for you to farm. First and foremost is that you make sure that you have the necessary implements and the necessary inputs into your farm, which the 16 years of misrule of PDP has left the country somewhat very far away. And this administration has made sure that at least today we have almost a large number of fertilizer processing plants that are working, which is part of the farm implements. That's one. Secondly, and more importantly, is to make sure that you have the necessary financing to be able to actually grow your farm.
What has this got to do with the speech? I'm sorry to interrupt you, sir.
Just a minute. Just a minute.
Yes.
Just a minute.
I'll need you to quickly make the point, sir.
I need to make a point that when you are a farmer, there are quite a number of things that you need for your output too. But
which includes rain, right?
Yeah, and then rain. Excuse me, please, Mr. Shaibu. Rain is from God, and that is why you have to pray for rain to come, for a good season to come, and that is what the president is just referring to. Let us pray for a good rainy season. And I can tell you one example. I can give you one example. Prior to now, in the northern part of the country, a large number of farmlands have been abandoned by the people, but it is as a result of taking away our major resources. Infrastructure is not available, fertilizer inputs are not available by the previous administrations, and people cannot take out their farm produce out from the farmland to the major cities to sell them, and therefore farming became a very distant business that what people want to do. But this administration has come in, and quite a large number of people have gone back to farm. And that is why. Let
me quickly say this. I don't think anybody is questioning or criticizing the president for asking the people to pray for rain.
Yeah, absolutely.
Some people will say that, you know, there are new farming methods. Irrigation is one of them. You know, saving rain in the rainy season for the dry season and getting people. But let's leave that aside.
The majority of
people will say that there is nothing wrong with asking the people to pray for rain.
Absolutely.
But then when you say so that the produce will be full, I mean, and good, and we can eat and then have energy to fight. I think that's why people take objection. Have energy to fight.
No, fight what? That's the question. Don't take it out of context.
What is the context?
If you have an energy, you have to eat food so that you can have energy to fight for your survival, to fight for your work, to fight for whatever energy that you need in order to fight for a cause. There are a lot of
within the context of elections. Don't you think the president should have clarified, especially when you know that fights can be misinterpreted?
It's just mischief. Believe you me, it's just mischief. I can tell you
by who?
By the opposition, to just always take everything out of context. As you pointed out, El-Rufai has said that, and everybody stands by that fact that you cannot allow foreigners to come and interfere with your process. Of course, you can come and observe. There is nothing wrong with that. But the territorial integrity of a country must always be safeguarded, must always be protected by the people. And that is very clear. Okay, so every single word is being taken out of context rather than focus on the issues. And I want us to focus on what the issues are.
Now, let's take up some of the issues, because your party has accused the international community, especially the United States, of bias against your candidates. They think that they're in favor of the candidate of the PDP, and have written a statement to that effect. They say that the beg your pardon now. They say that the American ambassador overstepped his bounds. I'm going to quote what Mr. Festus Keyamo was said to have written in his statement. He says, the American ambassador was reported to have condemned a situation where a candidate says that his opponent's political and economic policies are abhorrent and dangerous to the greater welfare of the people, and calls on the citizens to hate and reject such policies. In our view, this is a correct statement because it is the duty of the candidate to tell the people these truths to protect the nation from subsequent calamity. But Ambassador Symington says his country would punish such necessary political speeches. Now, is your party afraid? Because I remember an occasion where the American ambassador went to visit the governor of Benue State, and after the visit, he granted an interview to the press where he said that people who give hate speeches or who give speeches that incite violence during these polls will be held accountable. Are you afraid, or is your party members afraid of being held accountable if any violence should break out during these elections?
Okay, to be honest with you, this administration has always worked on those three principles of security, insecurity, corruption, and creating jobs. And therefore, insecurity is a priority. There is no way our own administration will allow any hate speech to take place in the country, will allow insecurity to come in. People can talk on the sidelines. People can talk on the sideways. But the most important thing that we are focused on is providing security for the generality of Nigerians and ensure that the territorial integrity of Nigeria is actually safeguarded and protected. And therefore, I don't think that we are going to create a situation where people will feel insecure. It's not at all.
So why do you have any objection with, international partners, for instance, taking any actions that they can within their purview? Why would you have any problem with them taking that action if such a person, if anybody at all within Nigeria should incite violence during the elections?
See, the international protocols and conventions are very clear. Nobody is opposing anybody from coming to observe what we're doing. We invite everybody to come and observe our processes. It's very clear. Our destiny is in our hands for us to make or to mar. We've taken our destiny into our own hands. Secondly, there is no way you can give up in any country. No country in the world will sit back and give up its own territorial integrity to anybody for external aggression or any form of interference. Nobody can allow that. No country in the world will allow that. But observations is allowed, and we don't have an issue with that. Everybody can come and sit down and observe what we're doing. And that's exactly what Manuel Rufai has been trying to clarify all this while.
Mr. Shuaibu, how do you respond? I mean, the United States says they're going to hold anybody who incites violence in these elections accountable. How do you feel about that?
The question is, the APC, that is the ruling party, are jittery. And they are jittery because of their imminent defeat on the 16th of February 2019. And they've been raising concerns, spurious allegations. Remember vividly, and I thank God you mentioned it, that Malam El-Rufai, in his characteristic manner, mentioned that foreigners who come into this country and who try to interfere.
I don't know, sorry to interrupt you. I want you to pick your words very carefully, because when you say someone in this characteristic manner, it means that that's what the person is fond of doing, or is in his personality. And I'd really want us to stay away from personal attacks, please.
Markwe, with profound respect to you, when my friend here mentioned that the PDP are the colony of thieves, you never cautioned him in his choice of words.
Pardon me.
And when I use characteristic manner,
pardon me if I didn't hear that. Go ahead.
Okay, if you didn't hear that, yes, then it's fine. I accept your apologies. But with profound respect, I know that I choose my words. He has made several comments along that line before now. So when we say in his characteristic manner, it's still contextual, and it has a contextual conditioning, and I want you to appreciate that as well. But succinctly put, Malam El-Rufai told Nigerians the other day that foreigners who try to intervene in our electoral process will return to their country in body bags. In furtherance to that, Mr. Festus Keyamo has issued a statement cautioning the United States of America and asking that, look, and telling the world that America is in support of our presidential candidate. And I beg to ask, Theresa May, the British Prime Minister, was in Nigeria on the 30th of August 2018. And when she came, Mr. President made a promise to her that, look, we're going to conduct free and fair elections in Nigeria. 1 week after, we had the Osun election. What I keep asking the APC is that promise Mr. President made to the British Prime Minister about conducting a free and fair election, was that the Osun election results and the process leading to that result a reflection of a free and of that promise he made to the British Prime Minister? The answer is either a yes or a no. If it is, these same world powers were not only around, they had observers in this country who monitored that election. And they listened to Mr. President when he made the promise that we're going to conduct a free and fair election. And they saw what they got. They saw what happened in Osun. And based on that, they've raised questions to say, look, we want to monitor the credibility of this election. And they got more jittery when they got intelligence that the American government, in association with the British government, the UK, the EU, are going to deploy what we call the latest technology of spy cameras to monitor Nigerian elections on the 16th of February. Now they got, why are they jittery? Why are they rushing to condemn this same set of people, these same government agencies that gave tacit support to President Muhammadu Buhari in 2015?